The Book of Boba Fett, Episode 1. Hello everyone, I'm Joe Squared and welcome to a review of Episode 1 of The Book of Boba Fett. It's been a whole year since we've had Star Wars. That's how long it's been since The Mandalorian Season 2 ended. Just over a year, so it's been a hot minute. And in between, we've pretty much just had, Marvel. That's been it for pop culture, like 4 Marvel TV shows and then probably about 4 movies as well. So, that sort of kept us tied over. But now we are back with the OG Star Wars. Now, this is once again written by Jon Favreau, the man himself, thank goodness. And this is continuing straight on from the end of Mandalorian Season 2 when they showed us a little teaser of Boba Fett in Jabba's palace. And this is following that on. He is now the new crime lord. He needs to take control of Mos Espa, Mos Eisley, all that sort of thing. He's the man in charge now. But this episode does also do flashbacks, showing events that happened directly after Return of the Jedi when Boba Fett first fell in the Sarlacc pit. Now that was really cool to see because you always wonder how does he survive that, and the Sarlacc pit does take 1,000 years to digest, so he has plenty of time. But obviously you don't, because you will starve or the stomach acids will get you, so you have a short window to get out. And it was cool that they showed that, explored that. What does the inside of a Sarlacc pit look like? It's disgusting. And then things just sort of went downhill from then onwards for him. Now, based on the fact that they showed us flashbacks in this episode, but it didn't take us all the way to his introduction in The Mandalorian Season 2, it could be a thing where they are continuing to show flashbacks throughout the rest of the episodes, of which there are 7, so it could be a case of each episode they're going to show little cutbacks, but I imagine it might be less so, as they build up a story within the current timeline that we're exploring, because right now they haven't really set up loads, so that's probably why they were showing us more flashbacks, because they didn't just want to do a full episode of setups. They wanted to show us what was going on with Boba before we found him again. Now, Tamira Morrison is great. His voice is just iconic. It always has been ever since he played Jango Fett back in Attack of the Clones, and it's just so iconic here, with or without the helmet. I've got to admit, it does sound kind of better with the helmet on. I think it's just the look. The Mandalorian armor, you just sort of look at him and think that's so badass. But, he's just, he's brilliant here. It's nice to see him as the star of the show, because, the little glimpses that we got of him in The Mandalorian Season 2 were always promising. And, him with Fennec Shand alongside him, it makes for a very formidable duo and, an interesting duo. Now, as I said, there's not much so far in the way of plot. They are just really getting started. But there was a mysterious attack on Boba and Fennec, which begs questions, who would be attacking them? Who is he made enemies of? Of course, you can have some theories. I'm thinking maybe someone who used to work for Jabba, maybe they don't want Boba in charge, or maybe someone associated with Moff Gideon. They're aware that Boba helped the Mandalorian attack him and whatnot, so maybe that's what's going on. I mean, the attackers did not seem like they were trying to kill, only to detain. They weren't assassins. They were just, somebody's guards, it seemed, for hire. So I imagine, it's, if I was to guess, it's probably more leaning towards Moff, maybe. Someone wants to track him down, get answers, ask where the child's gone, if they're going to continue that story. But I'm not sure if they are, if they're just going to try and tell Boba's own story, but maybe they're going to try and connect it to Mandalorian, which would be cool. I'd like to see that, but, we'll see. It's early days, so it's hard to tell where they will be going with this. Of course, Boba does come out on top here, alongside with Fennec, and they do capture one of them, but that will, of course, be left to the next episode to find out what's really going on there. But whenever Boba is, in a bit of action, he needs to go in his back to tank in order to recover, and that is where the dreams and flashback sequences occur, and that's where we see a little bit more of what happened. He goes through some stuff, he gets out of the Sarlacc pit, the Jawas get to him, then the Sand people get to him, and, it's hard, he's like a slave to them, but he ultimately does earn their respect. When he fights a big ass lizard that does threaten the Sand people, and in particular one Tusken Raider, so to speak. I don't know what they prefer to be called, but I'm just trying to be nice here. But he does kill this really cool looking 6-legged lizard thing, which was a dope little scene. That was a cool monster. We're learning more about the wildlife on Tatooine. That was cool, and he earns their respect, and that's sort of the end of your episode. But it shows that even to Tusken Raiders, Boba Fett is a likable person, and we love him anyway, and now the Tusken Raiders are starting to love him. I did really enjoy this first episode, to be fair. You know, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's just good writing, good acting, and, you know, it's great visually. And we have, you know, to put a lot of credit towards Jon Favreau again. You know, he revived Star Wars with The Mandalorian, and it seems once again he's making another good show here, and I can't wait to see where it leads. You know, whether it will hit the standards and the highs of The Mandalorian, I doubt. I don't know, that sort of captured everyone's hearts, including mine, but this could certainly be a great side story, especially as it's sort of linked to it, and, you know, I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Honestly, this one episode alone was better than all of Hawkeye. So, you know, I think that kind of speaks for itself. I think Marvel need to take notes on the TV show side of things from Star Wars, and then Star Wars probably needs to take a few notes movie-wise based on their recent endeavours in movies, at least for Star Wars. But, you know, either way, this looks good, and looks like we're in for a good show here. I would give today's episode a 7.5 out of 10. It was very, very fine. So yeah, more to come, should get better. Thank you all for watching. I've been Joe Squared. If you've seen it, please let me know what you think about it, if you've got any theories, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.